of those teams go rioting in the streets when their team loses, or even better, when their team wins and destroys property. Where are you when that happens? No, it's just when us animals, and let's get it straight, I know how the talk is behind closed doors. Don't think I don't know. It's only when us animals decide to rise up that it's an issue. I hate to be blunt. I hate to make it seem like I am just full of nothing but anger, but I'm not. I'm scared. I'm scared to be a black person in my country. I'm scared to be a black mother in my country. I'm scared for my relatives. I'm scared for friends. It's not right. And my friend Joey made a very good point. I wish I could just say it's only black people that are going through this. But his family, which is made of Spanish and Greek, they face this. Matter of fact, I'm starting to notice the pattern in this country. If you're not a white Christian American, and let me get this a bit more tweaked, if you're not at least upper middle class white Christian American, you're going to have issues in this country. And it shouldn't be. But it's the way it is. We are under a class system where if you have enough money, and if you look a certain way, and if you live in a certain neighborhood, you are treated absolutely better than your fellow human beings. When we can give billions of dollars in tax cuts to corporations, yet shun families who are poor because they're getting handouts, according to you. That's the kind of divide that makes no sense, and that's really tearing this country apart. But people want to say, oh, it's black on black crime, it's black people this, it's poor people that, it's the mentally ill. Well, the mentally ill don't have places to go because all the funding got taken out of that. So what can you do? All I know is I'm tired. I'm ready to take my kid, pack things up, and leave this country. And I know people saying, oh, it's no better anyplace else. Look at Europe, they're separationists. Look at Canada. You're not going to get it better anywhere else. You don't know that. I know one thing. I would feel a lot less threatened, perhaps, in Canada or Europe, because their police officers don't carry firearms and don't shoot first in many of these countries. And it just boggles my mind how we have so many states that could be having more streamlined approaches on how to pursue and apprehend criminals, yet we don't do it because it seems like we're stepping on the toes of law enforcement. I know, and I have law enforcement in my family. None of them have deaths on their hand. None of them have that blood on their hand. And they've had to make arrests. And they have seen things. Horrible things. So, I'm sorry. I have no excuse for anybody who needs to put 6 bullets into the body of anybody. When I think about injustice, when I think about things that should go to trial versus things that don't, it just makes me sad. When I think of babies being shot dead for doing things that normal kids do, it's a fucking BB gun. A BB gun. If you're that messed up in your head that you can't tell what a pellet gun versus a real gun in the hands of a 12-year-old looks like, there's something wrong with you. I just don't know how much more I can take. And I don't know how many more friends that I can just smile at them and try to say, Tim, they just don't know any better. Because at this point, y'all need to educate yourself. You need to go out there and open your eyes. And you're not going to like what you see. I don't like what I see. I don't like it on any end. I don't like it when it comes from people that look like me. And I don't like it when it comes from people that look like anything else. I hate racism, period. No excuses. I don't like it. I don't like any discrimination. I don't like misogyny. I don't like misandry. I don't like people who make fun of those that have a different weight. I don't like hate. But I'm not going to stick my head in the sand like an ostrich and pretend like hate doesn't exist. I'm not going to close my eyes and say, I can't see it, therefore it's not there. I'm not going to blame the media for exposing something that's been around in this country since the beginning of this country. Okay? Whether you want to see it or not, whether you're more offended by the fact that I'm talking about it, if you're not living it on a daily basis, it's easy for you to say you can't say stuff like this. And like I said, whenever you bring up a counter argument of, well, there was a black person there, therefore it's their fault, you're just as bad and you're a part of the problem. Because you're saying to me that, oh, you shouldn't make it about a white man choking out a black man, but in your freaking argument against me, there was a black cop that was in charge, and that's why, and that should have stopped them from dying. I just can't anymore. When even saying that argument, even repeating what he put there, makes my head throb. Because this person was dead serious and wanted to argue with me. Then another brought up about a claw hammer death. And I told him point blank, I don't like death from anybody. I respect all life. So if you are upset about somebody getting clawed to death with a hammer by a black person, you put it up there. Because nobody has the right to beat somebody to death. You will never hear me say, oh, you shouldn't put that there because it's racist. Murder is murder. But you're trying to tell me that something that was declared a homicide shouldn't be racially motivated when he was targeted for his race. You think that Eric Garner is the only person selling Lucy's in New York? Are you kidding me? Really? I don't know anymore, folks. I try so hard. I want to raise my son in a world where he can just be him. Where he does not have to worry about such superficial, trivial things. I want to just be in a world where your actions speak for who you are. Not your looks, not assumptions. But we're not there yet, and we're not going to get there because people refuse to see the problem. They don't want to see it. It makes them feel bad. It makes you feel dirty thinking that maybe, just maybe, because of the way you look, you might get away with something that somebody that looks like me won't. Maybe, just maybe, somebody close to you who is of a different racial background or religious background or different country might have faced some harsh brutality or hurtful words, or do so on a daily basis that you don't have to face yourself. Maybe you've cracked a joke or a quip. Maybe you've even been blatantly racist and maybe seen the light and just don't like reminder of that. But it's not going to get better until we face this cause, until we tackle it head on. I wish I could make these incidents, these horrible incidents, just about human beings being killed. But when you look at the facts, it's easy to see the pattern. I look at James Holmes, that horrible Aurora, Colorado massacre at a movie theater. His intentions were clear. He wanted people to die. He's alive on trial. I look at that guy, and I'm blanking at his name, and I really don't want to give too much fame to guys like this, who went out and gunned down state troopers, who had a manifesto about doing more. He's alive, going to trial. You see the news outlets talking about their health mentalities, not the fact that these are dirty murderers who deserve to maybe be put down, who will hopefully be put down for their actions. But they are alive to stand trial for their crimes. Mike Brown isn't alive to stand trial for his crime. Eric Garner is not alive to stand trial for his alleged crime. There is something seriously wrong with this system. And as I said on my Facebook page, whether you like it or not, if you refuse to see the pattern, you might just be a part of that problem. I'm 10. I know it's not a full 30 minutes, but I've gotten it out. I feel a little bit less heavy right now. I'm still kind of sad about all of this, but at least I got it out of my system. I want people who listen to this, if you're a parent, just hug your child tonight. Just hug them and hope for them that their future will be okay. Because no parent should have to live in this country worrying about their child being put in a box by somebody who's supposed to protect and serve. Once again, I'm Tanisa Walker, and this is my piece on this.